All right, I think it's ready. It rained here this afternoon, but now it's nice, real nice. And these two colonies right here were both queenless because I sold the queens out of each of them. But I didn't leave them that way. I gave them some eggs to be able to make an emergency queen. So this one here, they were on their way to making an emergency queen. I don't remember if it was the top box or the bottom box. All right, girls, are y'all gonna go inside? I'm standing in front of that other one. Where's my hive tool? Well, are we gonna do it without a hive tool? How about a pry bar? You see, you don't have to have a proper beekeeping hive tool. You could just use whatever you got. And I don't know when the camera cut off, but I found that queen cell laying right here. So, just in case you didn't see it, this cell is open on both ends. And since it was laying on top of that frame, it must have come from underneath there. There's the top box. This is the bottom box. It's a deep. And somewhere in this neighborhood right here, frame 3 or 4, we had an emergency cell. And I'm checking on it. I want to see what's the story. So let's keep the smoker lit. Got to keep the smoker lit because there's some wet leaves in it. Come on now, come on, come alive, come alive. I think it may have burned out. No, I see a little tiny bit of smoke, don't I? Change it this way. I can smell something, but I don't see anything yet. All right, there's some heat coming out of it. Let's check. There's not any leaves blocking it. I had it burning nice and hot, and it was only a minute or two. All right, well, they don't seem to be too excited, so I'm not going to get too excited about it. All right, we got a little waggle dance going on there. More waggle dancing. These girls are happy. Happy, happy. All right. We got some new frames down here. When I sold that nuke out of here, I just put these new frames in to replace the ones. Okay, so there's not any action going on this one yet. And I should be able to get this one out. No action. Now this one is older. It's got the yellow foundation on it. And it has some grooves in it from some wax moth larvae sometime in the past. They're drawing some on it. see two beetles. I don't like them, but the bees, when they're strong, they keep them corralled. So it's not a big deal for a strong colony. Now that upper box was pretty heavy, but like I said, I took some resources out of this one and it set them back. And see, they're still not drawing too much down here. But today, we're just looking to see what's the situation with them raising a queen. Now, one thing I've noticed, I don't know if you have noticed it, I do not hear the queenless roar. I don't hear it. They're being very calm and gentle so far. Let's see if the smoker's got any life left in it. I don't see anything happening out of the smoker. Nothing. There's another new foundation frame. I think Charlie swapped frames with me and he brought these nice frames that came with foundation. Manufactured and all, they're not like my homemade ones. I've been making them homemade and putting popsicle stick starter strips and leaving them foundationless. And they do okay with those. They don't always draw them straight. They'll draw them, but they don't always draw them straight without foundation. Shoot, even with foundation, they sometimes don't draw them straight. All right, see there? Now that's a foundationless frame covered in bees. I see some nectar. I see some drone brood. I'm going to turn it over. See what's on this side. And you see how they're going all different directions with it? And right in here, there it is. There's a cup. Is there anything in that cup right there? I think it's too much shadow to be able to tell. Of course, without a queen, how could there be anything in that cup, right? Okay, let's turn it back the way it was. Ooh, a black bee. Look at that. Y'all see that? A black bee. We are what you call integrated. We don't care what color the bee is, but that one is pretty. All right, now we don't have to set that one permanently because it'll go back where it was here in a minute. I picked up a stinger right there on my thumb. Can you see it? Flick it sideways. Try not to squeeze them. They squeeze the venom into your skin. But if you flick it sideways, you get less of the venom. Then you get a smaller reaction. Might not swell so much. All right. We're getting close to where that emergency cell was located. Might have been on this frame. See a lot of drone brood in here. They take longer, I think. Post down there in the comments and tell me how long it takes for drone brood to emerge. From the time that the colony went queenless till now has been It's been roughly 2 weeks and 2 days. That's 16 days, and I think the drone takes 21 days. Am I right or wrong? Post it down in the comments. All right, but we don't see any worker brood. Of course, we couldn't. There's not been a queen in here for over 2 weeks. Ah, do you see what I see? There it is. And the stone is rolled away. Why do you look here for the living among the dead? She ain't here. She has emerged. That's right. There must be a virgin around here somewhere. And with all of these bees, I don't know if that was the emergency cell that I was banking on or not, because it seemed to me that I remembered it being over here in this neighborhood. What are them bees on? What are y'all doing? Yeah, nothing. Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to see. I don't expect to find her amongst all of these bees, and I don't expect her to be laying eggs yet. But you see, this open queen cell has a door on it. That queen emerged out of that cell. That is what I wanted to know. So I'll put them all back together, and then we'll check the next one. Do you hear that? I know the wind is blowing in the trees behind me, but can you hear the bees? That's not a good sound. It sort of sounds like the queenless buzz, or the queenless roar. It's not real loud, but they do seem to be happy. Let's get in here and see how my queen rearing program is going in this colony. This is the second of the 2 that I sold the queen out of. So let's see what they're doing. Come on, camera, focus. Okay, so I set the top box over here. They're acting just fine. There's not a whole lot of action going on in this top box. It's not nearly as heavy as the neighboring hive top box was. And I relit my smoker. Let's see if it'll stay lit this time. I'm gonna have to keep puffing it. I put wet leaves in it. If I keep it hot enough, maybe it will evaporate all that water off of those leaves. Maybe it won't. Sort of looks like it's burned out again. I had it going nice and hot, but I may have to get rid of them wet leaves out of it. This here is the cutout that we did about a week and a half ago, and I left them a feeder in here. And I'm thinking that I might have left them some queen cells. Maybe. Maybe, baby. I don't know, they're roaring kind of loud. We might want to get that feeder out of there now. So what I fed them was I fed them back the nectar that came out when we did the cutout. But that's empty. So they don't need that. Do we have a queen or any cells? How about queen and some cells? Because we need something for that other queenless colony. But this one might be queenless too. This is all nectar right here. Just turn it around. Can you see it glistening? Look at that. That's all nectar, baby. But they need that, so we're not going to do anything with it. We just want to see, do they have a queen? Can they spare any cells? This cutout that we did came with like 6 queen cells. There's one on the bottom. Can you see it? Right through there, behind the one that's been chewed open. There's a queen cell that's apparently open. There's a queen cell. And it looks like, I don't see a door, but I see signs of where the virgin queen may have chewed her way out. Okay, so this colony should have a virgin somewhere. She may be out on a date. I don't see her. You see the rubber band hanging up there? That's where we rubber banded this comb into this frame, and you see this up here at the top? They have attached the comb to the frame. So they're getting rid of the rubber bands. They don't need them. They don't want them. So I'll set that up here. One more frame. All right, so I just got done smoking them down. They're already coming back up. I want to see if there's any resources in here. This box is pretty full, so they're probably about ready for a super to be put on them anyway. And you see these rubber bands? That's probably from this cutout over here. Maybe, maybe not. So let's start by getting out frame number 2. Looks like it's going to come out fairly easy. It's stuck to frame number 3. There it is. All right, girls, what y'all getting all excited about? I ain't here to do you no harm. Let's get it raised up a bit. Come on. You were loose a second ago. There we go. It goes right back down when I pull the hive tool out of it. Look at there, the hive tool's going all the way through it. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. There's got to be a way to do this with one hand without getting all excited. All right, I've sort of got a hold of the hive tool and the frame. We're pulling that out of there. And I'm going to rest it right here and get that hive tool off of it. Pry bar. It ain't no hive tool, it's a pry bar. All right, they are filling that up with nectar. Can you see it? Some of it's capped even. All right, here we go. We're going to sit that there. We're going to try to get another one out. That poor drone ain't going to make it. I think it's loose now. And looky here, we have a medium frame and a deep box. That's what they're going to do every time. They're going to draw it out. Now that's old comb. See how dark it is? So that's been like that for a while. Okay, so that one was next to the wall. So I'm just going to leave these two frames parked over here, and we're just going to go a little bit deeper now and see what's going on here. This one's nice and heavy, lots of nectar. More nectar. Okay, keep going. What are y'all doing peeking up over the top bar? Is there a queen down in there? Are y'all trying to protect the queen? Well, probably not. That's all full of nectar. There shan't be a queen on there. All nectar. Okay, so that wouldn't be bad to give here, but they had plenty of nectar. What they need is more brood. Give them a boost. All right, they're tapping my hand. So we're going to get the smoker going again. Going to let a little bit of the smoke come over the phone. Try to keep that smoker lit. All right. Nectar and pollen. Nectar and pollen. These girls are socking it away, ain't they? We gotta give them another box. Let's see what's going on here. This was definitely a cutout frame. And what do we see here? Let's see if I'm on it. Okay, right there behind those bees, there is a queen cell. It is a mature queen cell. They are indeed queenless, but all right, we're going to leave that one in there. So that's why I gave them that cell, apparently, was because they were queenless. You hear the roar? Can you hear that? Sounds like the interstate. Look at there. Oh my goodness. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? There is a new baby queen right there. Coming on out. Yes, she is. I'll put that girl right back. And guess what we're going to do with this other one? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to give this one away. That's right. Okay, let's kind of get our bearings straight. There she is right there. You see her? Yep. Okay, so